It's the start of Restaurant Week, and foodies, I know you're ready to experience some of the delicacies that restaurants across our beautiful island will be offering. Under the theme, Eat Your Heart Out, this year's staging of Restaurant Week will feature 5 mouth-watering categories: savory, tasty, delectable, Epicurean, and Nyam and Scram. I'm Audrey Williams. Thanks for joining us on Jamaica Magazine. Stay with us as we journey through another exciting edition.
The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information is committed to ensuring that every Jamaican child has the best learning environment to thrive and needs your cooperation to make the education system work successfully.
What are the school's voluntary contributions for?
Co-curricular and sports activities and school development.
What amount are parents to contribute?
Your contributions are voluntary and the amount depends on the type of programs being offered by the school.
If my child is being denied access to school, can I complain to the ministry?
Yes. You can call or visit any of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information's 6 regional offices or send an email to complaints@moey.gov.jm.
What support is there for PATH students?
PATH students are not expected to make contributions and are to be provided with 5 days free lunch as of this year.
Parents and guardians, do continue to make your voluntary financial contributions to your children's school. The institutions need your assistance for their school development and sporting activities. Remember, every child can learn. Every child must learn.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, November 10. Education Minister Senator Ruel Reid has called for a thorough probe into the incident at Clarkstown Primary School where a 7-year-old boy was assaulted by his peers. Minister Reid says as a parent he finds the matter very disturbing and empathizes with the mother and boy, adding that he will ensure that the issue is properly ventilated.
I have subsequently instructed Dr. Grace McLean to ensure there is a full investigation and report brought to my attention. I'm happy that one of our agencies, the CDA, is also investigating in addition to the children's advocate. Very, very concerned about this incident, and I expect that, including the police, will do their own investigation and we will have the matter dealt with expeditiously.
The Education Minister is urging the public and the media to handle the matter with care, saying everyone should appreciate the sensitive nature of the incident. In the meantime, Minister Reid says that based on preliminary reports, the matter could have been more efficiently handled to ensure the care and protection of the children involved in the incident. A meeting was convened by the school board on Wednesday, November 8, with all parties concerned. It was agreed that the ministry would arrange immediate training for school board personnel to empower them with the skill sets, knowledge, and guidelines that govern child care and protection and critical incidents in general. The principal is also to recruit a suitably qualified applicant for the position of school security officer under the ministry's apprenticeship program. This person will manage the gate operations and other matters relating to the general security and safety of children on the school's compound. And an educational social worker is to visit the school community to conduct a social inquiry report on the parties involved. The minister says he is awaiting the formal report from the school board, after which action will be taken in accordance with the Code of Regulation. The Office of the Contractor General OCG has received a new equipment to improve its ability to investigate and support the prosecution of corruption cases. Worth $134,000, the items were presented to the OCG on Thursday. They have been donated by the U.S. Department of State, Bureau for International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs through the U.S. Embassy in Kingston.
And it includes a forensic recovery evidence data center device that will allow you to extract data from computers and smartphones. With this new capability, your office will be able to analyze electronic evidence more effectively.
This equipment will enhance the overall information and communications technology capacity of the office, and more specifically the investigative function of the office.
The Contractor General says in addition to the equipment, in the last 10 months, OCG staff have been trained to enhance their investigative capabilities by the Bureau for International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs.
And we're advised that very shortly, some other OCG members will travel to Texas for principles of fraud investigation.
He says the support will cause the OCG and the new dispensation of the Integrity Commission to reach and maintain international best practices as they investigate acts of impropriety and/or perceived acts of corruption. The Ministry of National Security has begun its series of health fairs in juvenile correctional institutions to promote healthy lifestyle among inmates and staff members. The initiative is part of the ministry's We Transform program and will benefit 530 children and staff across all 4 juvenile institutions. During the first installment on Wednesday at the Metcalfe Street facility, persons were treated to blood pressure checks, dental care, eye screening, electrocardiogram tests, and cholesterol tests.
We intend for the children and the staff to be equipped with the requisite knowledge and tools to abstain from the use of illicit drugs and unhealthy and inappropriate sexual practices. And we also anticipate that specific institutions will have their staff trained and equipped with the skills for them to train the children in the area of sexual and reproductive health. With those outcomes, we will look towards a better future for these children.
The health fairs will continue until January next year at the South Camp, Hilltop, and Rio Cobre Juvenile Correctional Centers. The initiative is supported by the Ministry of Health and the Chase Fund. Parliament is being asked to appoint a joint select committee to consider the Data Protection Act 2017. Tabled on October 3, the bill seeks to safeguard the privacy of individuals in relation to personal data. It's also meant to regulate the collection, regulation, processing, keeping, use, and disclosure of certain information in physical or electronic form. After being read a second time in the lower house Tuesday, Technology Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley asked that the bill be placed before a committee which he would chair.
Mrs. Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, Deputy Chair. Mrs. Juliette Cuthbert Flynn, Mr. Franklin Witter, Mr. Julian Robinson, and Mr. Mark Golding to sit jointly with a similar committee to be appointed by the Senate to consider and report on the bill.
Under the bill, private and public sector entities will need to implement the necessary technical and institutional support to ensure greater protection of personal data within their custody or control. The bill also makes provisions for an information commissioner to oversee the handling of personal data in public and private entities. And finally, the National Water Commission, NWC, is extending its customer census mapping project into St. Catherine as it continues efforts to deliver improved customer service. The project has already been completed in Kingston and St. Andrew. It involves a door-to-door survey of existing and potential NWC customers and mapping them using Global Positioning Systems GPS devices. These activities will be carried out between about 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. daily, and the NWC is assuring consumers that all project representatives will be properly identified. The company says the census mapping project will ultimately result in better water and wastewater service delivery, improved responsiveness to complaints, and better customer service. In coming months, the census mapping project will be rolled out in other parishes. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Sweet Jamaica, we not left ya. Tough yam and banana, we not left ya.
Finger-licking jerk chicken, Hellshire fish and bami, will run down yam and banana, roast bread fruit, sweet potato pudding. Jamaica food sweet. So let's make a pledge to use more local produce and less foreign goods. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow.
Sweet Jamaica, we not left ya.
The art of choosing, cooking, and eating good food. Here's one of the gastronomic sites in Jamaica.
This evening we launch the first of hopefully a number of gastronomy centers across destination Jamaica. We selected Devon House to be the start not only because It is unique in its own offerings. We also selected Devon House because it's in the center of commerce and entertainment and culture in the Caribbean, the city of Kingston.
Gastronomy is one of the fastest growing reasons for people to travel. The World Tourism Organization estimates that the gastronomy market is approximately $150 billion. Boasting world-renowned food and beverage delights such as ackee and saltfish, jerk pork, coffee, and rum, Jamaica is being marketed as a food destination. The Tourism Ministry is serving a platter of treats to foodies. Serving the helpings are gastronomy centers of Jamaica, stops for guests to cook, dine, and be educated on Jamaican food.
We're going to be establishing here at Devon House the first gastronomy club, and we will be building a special kitchen so that that dream of putting the first standalone kitchen without a chef, without a cook, without anyone except those who will see to its campness throughout the period. And we will be marketing that kitchen as a location for visitors from across the world to come to Devon House and cook. So you will bring your families on a Sunday afternoon, and we'll be establishing a farmer's market just next door to it. The final thing that we want to do here at Devon House in advancing this gastronomy prototype is to establish a food shop. You move from shop to shop and you just nibble. You just pick and eat different types of cuisine. So you perhaps start with a little rundown. The next shop is jerk chicken. The next shop is jerk pork. The next shop is ackee and saltfish.
It seems a perfect combo. Devon House, built by Jamaica's first black millionaire in the 1800s, has transcended into a haven for ice cream lovers and socialites. Already on site, some 14 eateries featuring local and international cuisine.
I think it's an excellent idea. I think the time has come for that. We serve both Jamaican food, international food, and we also have an Italian pizzeria.
What we do is a thin crust pizza with fresh dough, daily prepared, and we combine it with the Jamaican flavors. So like the Jamaican pizza is ackee and callaloo, or jerk pork, jerk chicken. We also do Hawaiian, pepperoni, so we try to please all kind of buds.
It's a fabulous idea. One, because Devon House has such rich history, and I believe that it's in line with our culture. It's just whatever it is that comes and intertwines together as one. You know, food, culture, music is a lifestyle.
I know it's going to be much more exciting. I believe what the Ministry of Tourism have done so far in terms of the improvement on the property is just amazing, and I just know it's going to get better as it goes along. The other retail shops that are here is also a wonderful combination. The atmosphere is great. We love it for Rev Jewelry and Accessories because it lends to the energy and the synergy of what we have to offer. So I'm very happy about this move.
It's an absolutely amazing idea. If we can bring gastronomy and market that as a tourism destination, or as a tourist choice rather, that would be amazing.
The thought of persons in Jamaica and all that has always been, why is our food not more out there, Why isn't that more people coming just for the food? So, with the minister's vision, it was really about putting that plan into reality.
So happy that the minister has been able to fuse food across the world, Jamaican with Chinese, Jamaican with Italian, Jamaican with Indian, Jamaican with French. Any cuisine across the world, we can fuse it with some of our jerk seasoning or some things that are synonymous to Jamaica.
We are particularly happy at this initiative
by our minister. The more people that utilize Devon House to come there for different experiences, it means that Devon House will be more self-sufficient in generating funds for the upkeep and maintenance of this heritage site.
When you create a gastronomy center, you know, create an opportunity for not just locals. The locals already understand Devon House, but the tourists that may come, it may attract visitors from the cruise operators, because it's a big deal. And I think it's something that we need to push and drive, because the history and culture of Devon House actually fits very well with the new model, the new proposed model.
Cancer, stress, high blood pressure. Guard yourself against these potentially deadly conditions by eating healthy. Give your body long life with foods such as low-fat milk, dried and fresh peas and beans, unsalted nuts and seeds, fresh vegetables, fruits and coconut water, and eliminate processed seasonings such as seasoning salt, soy sauces and ketchup. When it comes to meats, remember to remove the skin to reduce the intake of fats and oils. Meats should also be baked, steamed, grilled or roasted. Fish is also a preferred protein option. To eat healthy, fill your body with a variety of foods from all the food groups. And remember, eat at a slow pace and in small bites to help aid digestion. This helps to maintain a healthy, balanced and nutritious diet, strengthening your body to ward off illness and prolong life.
Over the years, the prevalence of smoking among our youth from as early as age 13 has been steadily spiraling upward. The most recent Global Tobacco Youth Survey showed that smokers in the age group 13 to 15 increased from 15% to nearly 25% over a 9-year period. This trend is of concern, considering the ill effects of smoking.
Cigarette smoking is associated with nearly every cancer you can imagine. Cancer of the tongue, cancer of the breast, cancer of the cervix, cancer of the pharynx, cancer of the stomach, just to name a few.
There are over 4,000 chemicals in cigarettes that are harmful to the human body.
For example, chemicals that are found in embalming fluid, what is used to preserve dead bodies, chemicals which are found in rat poison, insecticide, chemicals that are found in battery. All of these chemicals are found in cigarette.
Among young people, the short-term health consequences of smoking includes respiratory and non-respiratory effects, addiction to nicotine, and the associated risk of other substance abuse. Long-term health consequences of youth smoking are reinforced by the fact that most young people who smoke regularly continue to smoke throughout their adult years. Tobacco can affect youth activities and athletic performance as it narrows blood vessels and puts a strain on the heart.
In addition to traditional cigarette smoking, there have been some rising new trends among our youth.
We have observed a lot of parties, what they call the hookah parties. So the hookahs now comes in different flavors. So there's this myth about there that the hookah pipe is much safer than the smoking cigarette because the water inside of it actually filters out the smoke. But the research it actually does show that the hookahs still can cause cancer, TB, or even an STI, because most persons, when they share the tip of they don't change it. So if a person has one STI, actually can pass to the other person.
Then there are e-cigarettes.
The e-cigarettes don't have tobacco per se, but they have nicotine, they have other chemicals in it, and many of them come flavored. They are glamorized, right, because many of them are marketed by celebrities, and they are touted as being relatively safe. But not because they don't have tobacco and many of the other chemicals that are seen in cigarettes, they are not necessarily safe. They do have other chemicals. And one chemical that is seen in some of the flavorings that are used in e-cigarettes is called diacetyl. Diacetyl is a chemical that was used to make the buttery flavor that was used to give microwave popcorn that taste. It was then banned because the factory workers in the factories making the microwave popcorn got ill.
Another popular smoking option among teenagers is marijuana. But does marijuana or ganja smoking pose any risk to the teenage smoker?
The research does show that there's a big difference between a teenager smoking and an adult smoking. And the simple fact is this, is that your brain is not fully developed until age 20 to 23. So there's a part of the brain which controls the executive function of the body, weighing consequence, all of these different things. So when you start using drugs at an early age, it actually impacts that part of the brain. So that's why you do have some of the students, so if you realize they're not doing well in class, right? It's like they get very upset or angry easily. All the research shows that once you start smoking from an early age, the long-term consequences are more severe. For example, in the 30s, if you start smoking as a teenager, later on in life, when it lowers your IQ level.
The Jamaica Cancer Society cites peer pressure, stressful relationships, and unresolved challenges at home as the three main reasons for teenage smoking.
Unfortunately, many young persons are under the mistaken impression that cigarettes eliminate stress. This is certainly not so. We therefore encourage students to seek help from their parents and teachers to resolve any issues that they may be facing. Do not turn to smoking for answers.
To help teenagers quit smoking, there is the Fresh Start Smoking Cessation Program, offered by the Jamaica Cancer Society in association with the American Cancer Society.
This is a comprehensive 4-session group-based course that covers issues such as nicotine addiction, managing withdrawal symptoms, weight control, stress management, recognizing and planning for possible obstacles to quitting, staying tobacco-free, and enjoying being a non-smoker.
There's also an annual anti-tobacco youth forum held in February to educate high school students about the dangers of smoking.
Many young people feel that lung cancer in particular is a disease of the elderly and that they have years ahead of them before the dangers of smoking will affect them. So it is our responsibility to educate and to be able to tell our younger folk, don't start if you haven't started, and to stop if you actually have, because the dangers of cigarette smoking actually start from day one, from that first cigarette.
For more information on programs to help teens quit smoking, contact the Jamaica Cancer Society at 927-4265 or visit their website at jamaicacancersociety.org. You may also call the National Council on Drug Abuse at 926-9002-4 or visit their website at ncda.org.jm.
Cervical cancer, caused by the human papillomavirus HPV, is a major public health concern in Jamaica. Almost 50% of the women diagnosed each year die from this preventable disease. To prevent cervical cancer and save lives, the Ministry of Health is providing the bivalent HPV vaccine to girls ages 9 to 14 years free of cost. Parents, give your girls a fighting chance against this deadly disease. The bivalent HPV vaccine is safe and provides 90 to 100% protection against HPV type 16 and 18, which are responsible for most HPV-caused cancers. Call the Ministry of Health's toll-free line 1-888-1-LOVE or 1-888-663-5683 for more information, or email us at hpvinfo@moh.gov.jm. You can also find further information on the website moh.gov.jm, as well as the Ministry of Health's social media channels.
It's Youth Month, and today we'll be checking in with some of our youth to find out what this year's theme, Substance Over Hype, means to them.
I basically think that, youth and young people need to bring something to the table. Whether it be your education, your talent, your skills, your knowledge, you have to bring something other than just hyping, boasting about nothing.
Basically, you know, say you go to school, you take in your education, at the end of the day, you can buy a big car, you can buy a big house. Enough girls go to school, they don't know nothing, they not even have one CXC. They can't spell basically probably dictionary right or anything. So basically, you need to have education in order to be hype.
Substance over hype would mean like the people in Jamaica, they might run down the hypeness and so for which we are encourage all the youth them to get themselves in a little program and take themselves out of gang violence and all those things, so you have left things, the country can be better and flow different.
Substance would mean that you have accolades to back up whatever you have. So it is better to have substance over hype in any sense, because if you're hype and you don't have anything to back up what you're hyping about, you know, technically just a bag of mouth.
I strongly support the team, substance over hype, as it really means a lot to me. Basically getting your subjects within your team here so that in the future you can only make a positive impact on society.
It means that, to me really, is that getting what is necessary, such as, for example, getting your education, that is very vital, because without that you cannot pursue what you really want to pursue. Rather than hype, where does hype take anybody? Because hype will just take you to a point, but hype cannot get you the type of job that you need necessarily.
Well, substance is like education, good values of life, you're going to school, you know, you want a degree and so on. Hype is something, it doesn't last long, it's just for a period of time. Just a moment, you know what I'm saying, but substance, life, long life, everything, education carries through.
That means, for instance, you go to school, you go there for your education, you're not there to, you know, you'll have to be soup as a Jamaican to say, you're not going to skylark, right? You're not going to follow the company and say, oh, my friends have the latest shows, so I'm going to eat the latest. That's why I'm not the latest shows, you know, but, you know, everybody knows, so well, I want you to go to school for enough to learn.
The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information on Monday hosted a Twitter town hall meeting under the hashtag Substance Over Hype, which is also the theme for Youth Month. Through the Twitter town hall, the ministry solicited suggestions on how government can continue to bring hope to Jamaica's youth. Watch as we show you some of the responses, as well as thoughts shared by our youth.
Yo, this is we're committed to reducing the impact of disasters occurring in Jamaica. We're ever ready to assist you before, during and after a disaster. But everybody have a role to play, so make we work together and follow the plan. Whether rich or poor or where you come from, hurricanes affect everyone, so be prepared. Prevention is better than cure. Be prepared. Listen to OPM.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
As it's Restaurant Week, we couldn't leave you without a fitting Jamaican proverb. Before good food poil, make belly bust. What does this mean? One should make every good use of life's opportunities. Also, never waste or discard today that which you or someone else may be able to use tomorrow. Thanks for spending time with us. Remember to keep up to date with the latest government information. Join us online at gis.gov.jm or watch our programs on our YouTube channel. And be sure to check out our social media platforms. You may also catch a new edition of Jamaica Magazine tomorrow on this very station. Until then, I'm Audrey Williams. Take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.